So in this example, we're going to use the input function. So the input function is just input with parentheses, and then you enter a prompt inside the function. So do you prefer red or green? If we run this, it'll then ask the user that question, and it'll give them a text box in order to type an answer. But then it doesn't really do anything with this this input, and so we can't use that input in our program unless we save that input. And so a good thing to do is to define a variable and then set the value of that variable equal to whatever the user types. And so here, if we run this again, now the word red that the user typed is saved under the color variable. And so now we can use this color variable in conditionals. We can say if the color that the user typed is equal to red, then we should print out a message. Tomatoes are red. And then if the color that they typed is green, we print out a different message. Now if we run this, do you prefer red or green? And we type red, because we saved what the user typed as color, and then we compared it to this word, we get this message. And if we rerun it and we type green, we get the other message. If we run it and we type a color that isn't checked for in our messages, then we're not going to get any output because we didn't type red and we didn't type green. So in this case, we could use else function down here if we wanted there to be a message, or if we only want to respond to red or green, maybe we leave the program written as is. That would be one reason, though, to be specific about our different conditions, because if we say if the color is red, type this, and then if it's not, show this message, then even if the user were to type a random color, we would always get this second message because it's only making sure that the user didn't type red. And so I think that the way that we started was a little more specific and a little bit better. Now, if we wanted to put the user down a specific pathway if they answered red or if they answered green, then what we can do is put some more code under this conditional at this tab level that the print message is right now. So to do that, I'm going to remove this print function, and I'm going to ask the user another question, which is, do you prefer fruit or vegetables? And I'm going to save that input as a variable called food. Now we can use this food variable in order to, again, write some more conditionals. And these conditionals we can start tabbed over so that they only happen if the user types red. And if the user types green, then it's going to skip all of this code that I've written so far. So if the food that they type is fruit, then we can say apples are red. If they type vegetables, then we can write tomatoes are red. And so we see as our code is tabbed over more and more, that means that it's nested in more conditionals, which reminds me of MIT App Inventor, because you could stick one conditional into another conditional, and that would force the code over to the right. So now if we run this code and we type in green, we get no questions about fruit or vegetables, but if we type in red, then we're going to get this food question, and then based on our input to that, we'll get the specific input that matches both the color and the food.